Hey everybody, Tim here for today's episode of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Season 1, Episode 5, Spock Amok. So, this is one of those, kind of funny titles, funny, premises, because it kind of connects to the original series. It does very much so. The first thing that it kind of reminds me of is the original series had an episode called The Naked Time, and then The Next Generation had the sequel episode, which was The Naked Now. This is kind of a similar type thing. The original series had the episode Amok Time, and now this is the prequel Spock Amok. I don't know how I feel about this episode. I'm not gonna lie. Not been a secret. If you kind of watch my videos in order, I have had a very bad week. And this is why am I going back to doing videos? And I'm immediately struggling already. But, I would say most Star Trek episodes, have an A storyline and a B storyline. This had A, B, and C, and even then there was some underliers. So I think the A storyline, based off of the title, I guess, would be the whole storyline of Spock and T'Pring switching bodies. So we'll start with that. It's so fucking goofy that I actually really like it. I was like, that's kind of funny. It's so crazy. It's so Freaky Friday. I almost said The Parent Trap. It's so Freaky Friday that I was like, it's goofy and I like it. It's classic Star Trek, which this does have. The whole opening scene it even had the Amok Time music where where Vulcan Spock and human Spock are fighting each other. And it's so reminiscent, but it did remind me, the reason I Freudian slipped Klingon just then, it almost did remind me, there's a Voyager episode where B'Elanna gets separated, and it kind of reminded me of that. Beneath that, I think the B storyline is the Enterprise Bingo, which I really, really liked that, with the whole La'an and Number One just bonding. And there's some great dialogue in there where it's you are fun. And so some of those were really fun. I almost paused it to read the little details, but I was like, I could just Google that. It doesn't really matter. Probably my favorite part to come out of that is I've already talked about Chief Kyle, the little twink that comes from Degrassi, where they talk about as Number One and La'ana are reading these two poor girls their rights, and they're like, okay, you're gonna have to work under Chief Kyle. They're like, he's so mean. And the only 2 or 3 times we've seen Chief Kyle, he's so tiny and sweet. So I was like, what? I want to know. I want to know the evil Chief Kyle, the mirror universe of Chief Kyle. And then we get the C storyline, which is just the whole diplomat thing, which is probably the most. I was like, it started out kind of meh, and it got interesting because it was oh, are these aliens mirroring people? Because they talk about the Tellarites, which is a great shout out, and then the Vulcans and stuff. And then of course Pike is I think they're doing this, and saves the whole day. And so that's the C storyline. The best part to come out of that is when they do display the Federation flag on their ship. It's a Bajoran sail ship that we saw Sisko and Jake sail in Deep Space Nine. So I was like, hey, we've seen that ship before. That was kind of cool. And then I want to say and then there's even the D storyline of fucking Nurse Chapel trying to figure out who she's dating. And I was like, again, anybody who's seen the original series knows who she ends up with. So I was like, why is this a thing? It just there's so many storylines, and I think if they had just done a main story of T'Pring and Spock and just gone for it, just completely off the rails, it could have been really, really funny. If they had done a full episode of the bingo, it could have been really, really funny. the diplomat story is probably always going to be a B storyline, and even the Nurse Chapel thing would always be like a B or a C storyline. But like there's too many subplots for me in this story. Like I liked each of them, but all together, especially like drinking and having the day that I've had, I was like, this is not what I wanted right now. The best shout outs were, like I said, the Amok Time music, Pike wearing the green shirt, which is something we see Kirk wear a lot, is that green wraparound shirt. At one point they talk about Spock's pet shallot, which that I liked. That like triggered every memory I have, because you actually hear about his pet shallot in the original series, in the Journey to Babel, where you first meet Sarek and Amanda. And Amanda's like, well, actually, because Bones is like, did he ever have a childhood? And she's like, well, actually, he had a pet shallot. And then that's about it. They just call it a big teddy bear with fangs or something. And then it's not until it's arguably kind of forgettable, but it's not until the animated series, the yesteryear, where they go back in time and you see young Spock, where you actually see Shala and like, or Ichera. You actually see Ichera, which they gave the name in yesteryear in the animated series, and that stayed present. And so what I like about that is a lot of people are like, oh, the animated series isn't canon. Is it canon? Is it not canon? Like, literally, there's episodes of The Next Generation, the whole one, where they put like you can't go past warp 5 because it's destroying the galaxy anymore. They put like Speed Force in there. Like, there's canon is what you make of it. I like the animated series, so I'm okay with it. The fact that they brought Robert April over, granted they kind of did a race swap, again, that really doesn't bother me that much, but I'm fine with it. I dig it. And again, they have now taken Spock's pet shallot named Ichera, and that's such a sad fucking episode. If you've never seen the animated series, the 3 episodes that I would recommend are Yesteryear, The Impractical Joker, and the More Trials with Tribbles episode. Like, those 3. If you don't watch anything else, watch those 3 episodes. They're fucking great. Because the Impractical Joker is actually the first holodeck. Shout out. There's some great other like little quotes. Like I said, I wanted more of the T'Pring and Spock, where they switch bodies, where she's like, you need to talk to Spock, or you need to talk to me, or Spock, who's right there. Like, stuff like that. I was like, that's brilliant. Like, that's such good, like, it's going. It's almost where it needs to be. The best part for me for the whole bingo thing was them actually signing the Scorch, which is like the oldest part of the Enterprise. And like I said, there's a lot of parts. There's a lot of really, really good parts, but none of it like overwhelmed me. None of it was like, this is brilliant. So, but I'm still liking it. Like, what, halfway through the first season. I'm curious what you guys are thinking. Let me know. Please like and subscribe. Please comment, because I like to interact with you guys. And I will see you guys next time for, what is it? Lift Us Where Suffering Cannot Reach.